And we are live. What's good, Charles? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all feeling up there? How y'all feeling? Second show for today. Just doing our thing. Second show for today. This is the show that I have been putting off. I was going to do this show. This show was scheduled for the day that Charlie Kirk was murdered. I was going to do it that day. But news have changed and everything's been crazy ever since. Y'all know the deal. So, here we are. And I ran up here, forgot to grab my phone. I'm all out of sorts, guys. I'm all out of sorts. And my mind is not geared up for Hollywood talk. I hope that during this, this video, during this episode, that I'll click back into Hollywood mode. Like, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, Brother Mandrell is definitely been waiting on this one. Here we go. And we got Brother Michael Lee in the building as well. Shout out to you too, fam. Yeah, Batty Boy, Tyler Perry, which fits into this narrative is going to be, this story is going to be what it's going to be, guys. I spent 25 years in Hollywood. I know how that stuff works a little bit. It is what it is. So, let's get into it, guys. Are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Some indeed. Yeah, I believe the audio was good. Yeah, it sounds like the audio is good. Like I said, I left my phone downstairs. I don't feel like going down there to get it. It is what it is. We'll just power through it. Because normally I'll have my phone watching a live feed, and I have these monitors up here. And shout out to us, man. We got 2,200. Finally, we got 2,200 subscribers, man. 2,200. Man, I've been trying to break that barrier forever, bro. 2,200, bro. We can never quite get there. We would get there, then we would lose a bunch, then we get there and we'd lose a bunch. Man, I'm here to tell you, there has to be a naughty list over at YouTube, and I'm on it. I think I'm on that list, like the Red Pill guys, the Manosphere guys, or whatever, or just male improvement content creator. Has to be a list over there that they don't like is being looked at by AI, and for whatever reason, we're probably hitting all of the active words. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to, in the last episode we did earlier today, we were talking about Patel being replaced. We were talking about the case. The Kirk murder case. I was trying to, at the very end, you guys know when we roll the outro, and I'm typing and I'm trying to just say, hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later today. Peace. That's all I just typed that in. And YouTube wouldn't allow that message to go into the chat, saying that it thought that I was potential spam. Okay. And I'm telling you, bro, I think there's a list, guys. I think there's a list. And I think that this small podcast is on it. But if people watch, if people like, if people subscribe and all that good stuff and share, I think that'll be a way to beat the little algorithm timeout they got us in. That's what I think it is. Anyway, that's just my thought on it. I don't know. I have no evidence to back that up. It is just a conspiracy theory, right? And next time I talk about it, I'll make sure I have this hat on, because I really believe that YouTube is out to get me and a lot of people in this space. But, until I get some proof, it is just a theory. All right, Brother Michael, saying, do you think Tyler did those type of actions to other men or men? Bro, we're about to talk about it. We're about to talk about it right now. There is a case. Tyler Perry is facing a case right now, $200 million civil case involving this sort of thing. And the guy who filed the case was interviewed by ABC News, I believe it is. So we're going to start there. So first of all, people are like, well, who is Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry is a Hollywood gatekeeper of sorts, right? He is a owner of his own studio. He produces, directs, and stars in most of his own productions. You might know him from, that My Diaz series, which I've never really watched. He gained prominence in Atlanta from doing those plays. It was like these musical type plays with names like Mama Tell God I'm Sorry or whatever. Like back in the day, that was the move, especially in the South, especially in Atlanta. Tyler Perry was like the king of that genre of play, of musical. And he built himself up and he built quite the empire in Atlanta. And as the story goes, Tyler Perry wanted to move out to LA and kind of get into that world, you know, become a real cool kid, you know, get into the big game. But Hollywood locked him out. Hollywood wouldn't let him get in there. You know, it's hard to make it in Hollywood. It's hard to come out there and get acting gigs and become a producer and direct and write and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to be successful in Hollywood. Hollywood will allow you or not allow you to do your thing, right? Like, so Tyler Perry, it seemed, went back to Atlanta. And this is all just my take on this, guys. You can look it up if you want, but he went back to Atlanta and then decided he was just going to make his own movies, right? As a matter of fact, we should look this up. We should look this up. Let's go ahead and Google him. Here it is right here. I want all information on dude. And I'm trying to find his overview. So an overview, Tyler Perry is an American actor, producer, director, and playwright who's best known for his character Madea. He's considered one of the most successful African-American filmmakers in history. Perry got his start in Atlanta live theater scene in the 1990s, writing and producing successful plays. See if I can see more of this. He transitioned to film and television in the 2000s, creating TV shows like Tyler Perry House of Pain and Haves and Have-Nots for TBS and OWN. All right. So, yeah, pretty much what I was saying. He tried to get in Hollywood as a cool kid. Hollywood didn't really take him. They didn't want him. They kind of shunned him. So he went back to Atlanta, went back to his roots, took all the money from all the success he made as a playwright, making these, musicals and plays, put it into doing his own productions. And back in the 2000s, went to, OWN and went to TBS, probably UPN, went to those type networks and was able to get his TV shows on air. And they were successful. Right? They were successful. Let's keep it 100. I mean, Wikipedia kind of says the same thing. Same thing, playwright, actor, filmmaker, director, creator and performer of Madea. Everybody talks about that. Madea Simmons is a tough elderly woman and also portrays her brother. So like in Madea, which I've never watched any of those movies. I tried. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. Never really watched the TV shows either. But then y'all seen clips or whatever. So he plays this old lady, and he was very successful with that series. I mean, there was so many Madea movies. I don't even know how many there were. Perry's films vary in style from orthodox film making techniques to film productions of live stage plays, many of which have been subsequently adapted into feature films. Madea's first appearance was in I Can Do Bad All By Myself, staged in Chicago. So this is all Wikipedia stuff on Tyler Perry. Perry wrote and produced many stage plays, which are at their least successful peak in the 1990s. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. They were at their most successful peak in the mid 1990s to 2000s. His breakthrough performance came in 2005 with the Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which he wrote and produced as an adaptation of a stage play of the same name. He also developed numerous television series, most notably Tyler Perry's House of Pain, which ran for 8 seasons on TBS from 2006 to 2012 before being renewed in 2020. In 2011, Forbes listed him as the highest paid man in entertainment, earning $130 million between May 2010 and May 2011. Thanks, shout out to that. In 2012, Perry struck an exclusive multi-year partnership with Oprah Winfrey and her Oprah Winfrey Network OWN. The deal features scripted projects such as Haves and Have-Nots. In 2019, he produced a political drama series called The Oval for BET. You notice all the stuff that Tyler Perry was doing. And let's see if I can bring this up so you guys can see it. I just realized y'all ain't looking at it. All the stuff that Tyler Perry was doing was really outside of Hollywood. It's not like he was working with, Sony, or, he wasn't working with Fox. He wasn't working with any of the big studios. He was just he's working with Oprah Winfrey, and they're pulling their money together. And he's making all this money outside of Hollywood, and Hollywood still wasn't phased, right? So I think that's important to note, guys. Like, it's one of those things. Like, this dude was making buku bank, but it was him and Oprah Winfrey making all this happen. Outside of his own productions, Perry has been cast in numerous Hollywood films, including Star Trek 2009. I don't remember him being in Star Trek. We'll have to look that up. Maybe he was, did he have lines in Star Trek in 2009? Got to look that up. Alex Cross. I thought he executive produced that. And if he did, it was his money, but that was a Hollywood production. That was 2012. Gone Girl 2014. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Okay, it's saying he was in these productions as cast member in numerous Hollywood films. So he was acting in these films. And man, I saw Star Trek in 2009. I don't remember seeing him. I don't remember him having a major role in that, but hell, I could be wrong. But anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, that was 2016. Vice in 2018. Those Who Wish Me Dead, 2021, and Don't Look Up, 2021. Don't Look Up. Was that the one on Netflix about the comet that was coming? He was in that. Was Tyler Perry in that? I watched that. It was a pretty good movie. Perry has also done voice acting in animated films such as The Star and Paw Patrol, the TV show. Oh, Paw Patrol, the movie. Didn't know that. Perry's film and shows have cumulatively, I can't even pronounce that word, grossed over $600 million, and his net worth is estimated at $1 billion. So there you go, Brother Michael Lee. Yeah, looks like he is a billionaire. You called it. Again, I don't know much. I just, I never really read his bio. Making him one of the richest people in the entertainment industry, despite commercial success. His productions have received criticism from critics and scholars who believe his films perpetrate negative or offensive portrayals of African Americans, which, yeah, I can see that argument, along with critical reception itself being largely negative. Right. So his stuff never really hits hard with mainstream. Again, Hollywood kicked him out. Then, well, not even kicked him out, never let him in. In 2020, Perry was included in Time's list of 100 most influential people and received the Governor's Award from the Academy of Television and Arts and Sciences. Additionally, he received the Jean Schultz Humanitarian Award from the Academy of Arts. And in 2021, he was inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame the following year, but not the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He doesn't have a star on Hollywood Boulevard or adjacent to it. So there you go. And then it gets into all of his life and all that kind of stuff, the blah, blah, blah stuff. So Tyler Perry is probably one of the most successful people that's ever been shunned by Hollywood. I'll put it that way. Like the cool kids did not let him in. Like most of they showed that he was cast in some Hollywood productions, some movies and TV shows and whatnot. But even reading that list, I'm like, damn, bro, I saw those movies. I didn't know he was in there. So did he have speaking roles? Did he play major roles? Definitely probably didn't play major roles. Did he have some lines? Probably. Someone with his, money and a little bit of reach, like people know who he is, he gives up $10, $20 million and they give him a couple of lines, I would imagine, just to get the production off the ground. But daggone, so this is the thing about Hollywood, bro. Hollywood, there's some serious gatekeeping going on out there, serious gatekeeping. And if they don't want you in there, you ain't getting in there. Kevin Hart says this all the time about Hollywood. He says Hollywood is undefeated, bro. And bro, he ain't lying. So Tyler Perry went out, made his mark. He has his own studios that he built in Atlanta. He's an icon in Atlanta. Like the guy's a billionaire, self-made. He did it all on his own. He did it despite Hollywood. It's not like Hollywood helped him out. And of course, Oprah was there to help him out. And he probably had other, wealthy, famous Black, African Americans that helped him out along the way. but he has an audience. Tyler Perry has an audience. Sisters love his work. So the Madea stuff, the plays, like the Go Tell Mama, Go Tell God I'm Sorry type plays. I don't think that was ever the title of one of his plays, but you know what I mean? That's the type of those musicals that was huge in the 90s. And he was like the main one. That made him a lot of money, and he was able to become very successful because he had the black community. But what he had sisters. He had them. He had mainstream black America supporting what he was doing, and it made him a billionaire. Shout out to him. I mean, that's definitely some Don DeMarco shit right there. Don DeMarco. I was one of those people who really didn't rock with his content. I didn't watch his movies, didn't watch his TV shows. Like I said, I tried to watch my Madea stuff. I just couldn't. To me, it was just dumb. The premise was just not for me. I would have been one of the critics like, yo, my thing with that was, hey, that's just not for me. He did numbers though. And mind you, he did numbers despite Hollywood, man. He did numbers even though the cool kids wouldn't let him in. And to this day, the cool kids haven't let him in. We got Brother Pitney in the building. What's good, fam? You know what I mean? Dude has a daughter now. One of the things in Hollywood, I don't know if he's ever come out to say this, but it is the biggest rumor, the tea is, he's homosexual, like he's into guys. That's one of the number one things I heard about Tyler Perry when I was in Hollywood. And it was one of those, of course he is type things. It's like if someone were to say, hey, so-and-so is homosexual, it wasn't, when it came up, it wasn't like anyone was shocked. Like, yeah, of course he is. Right. So that needs to be said because of what we're about to watch with this story. So Mandrell's in the building, man. What's good, bro? Finally got it. Yeah. He's like, finally doing it. My bad, bro. So long. Sorry it took so long. And Brother Michael was saying that Tyler Perry has a daughter like me. I didn't know that. So that's crazy. I didn't know that. And I guess he does a good job of keeping her out of the spotlight. But here's the thing. I don't follow dude. So even if he was like going around taking pictures with his daughter, I wouldn't have seen him because I don't follow that. I don't follow him. But yeah, here's a guy, self-made billionaire, one of the most successful entertainers ever that Hollywood shunned, right? To this date, I don't think he's ever worked with a big studio on anything. He's not an A-lister when it comes to the Hollywood world, but you know what I'm saying? You can't deny him. I mean, he's at all the award shows, like he gets access. So what happened? What did he do? He has a son as well. I didn't know that, man, Joe. Hey, appreciate that, man. I didn't know that. And Brother Michael Lee is like, I heard the same thing, Mr. Hot Dog. They call him saying, oh, wow, I didn't know that either. So you guys know way more than I do. But I will tell you, I will tell you what I was hearing in Hollywood. And, I won't name names, but people, in the business was telling me what's up, with dude. And this story, I will say this, that this story that this guy's about to tell to ABC News lines up with everything that I was hearing in Hollywood. And it wasn't just about Tyler Perry, man. There's stuff you hear about Will Smith. There's stuff you hear about Jamie Foxx. Nothing. I mean, Jamie Foxx is a cool dude. You don't hear nothing as far as like, homosexuality or anything like that. But you hear about the wild parties. Charlie Sheen. I mean, there's so many stories. There's so many stories. And then once the Harvey Weinstein broke, everybody got a picture of what was really going on out there. And that was it. The casting couch is still there. The casting couch never went away. It probably never will go away. It's just stuff that goes on that a lot of people they just deal with, they handle it, right? You heard when what's his face went on Shannon Sharp's show when God, hey y'all help me out. What's the name of the comedian, the little short comedian, the black dude that went on Shannon Sharp's show and just blew Shannon Sharp up? And while we wait for that, Brother Pitney is saying if Tyler Perry is part of the Rainbow Mafia, he would fit right into the cool kids club. Not necessarily. Not necessarily in Hollywood. Cat Williams, that's what I'm thinking of. Cat Williams. When Cat Williams went on Shannon Sharp show and blew it up, they were talking about Sean Combs, they were talking about, sleeping with other men. Thank you. Yep, I beat you to it, man, Joe. And Brother Benny, it came to me before I saw that. But yeah, when Cat Williams went on there and blew that show up, everything that Cat Williams was talking about is true. 100%. And we're going to get into it. And with this story, you're going to see how it starts at the lowest level, and then it just kind of goes parabolic from there. And I'm just here to tell you, bro, there's people out there that will dangle a dream in front of you, and all they want is for you to agree to the deal, right? And that's the kind of stuff that Cat Williams was talking about. You're going to hear other actors. We're going to do another video so you guys can see that this is not an isolated incident. Harvey Weinstein was certainly not a one-off by any stretch of the imagination. So let's pull this up, man. Let's get into it. Let's check out what's going on with Tyler Perry and some dude.
Welcome back, everyone. Now to our ABC News exclusive. Tyler Perry accuser Derek Dixon sits down in a TV interview for the first time, sharing allegations of workplace sexual assault and harassment. In June, he filed a $260 million lawsuit against the media mogul. These are claims that Tyler Perry denies. But Dixon says now to try to stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves. What made you decide to come forward with your story?
I wanted to speak out and not stay silent about it anymore.
Actor Derek Dixon sitting down for his first television interview.
Dixon.
Since filing a $260 million lawsuit against media mogul Tyler Perry, detailing the alleged sexual harassment and assaults he says he endured.
That's when he pushed me up against the wall and grabbed my ass again.
Dixon starred as Dale in Tyler Perry's BET series, The Oval.
Why are you yelling? I'm in this too, remember? You're not in it. Did you get shot at? No, I actually got shot.
He appeared in 85 episodes between 2021 and 2025. Tell us about the first time you ever met Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I met him at his studio opening party in 2019. I was working for an events company, and we met, and he said to me, are you an actor? And I said, well, not right now. I'm working on it, but not right now. And he said, yeah, you are. We need to talk. You should get my number and we'll talk about this.
Holla, 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 holla. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you.
That right there. That's it. That happens all the time. That happens with all genders. It happens, man, woman, 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 man, man, and everything in between. That's the thing. That's the thing. Brother Man Joe, I don't believe a single word of this. Yeah, bro, I believe the opening part, I believe 100%. This guy is working for an event company. His job is to bring in the tables, take in and take out the trash, run errands, set the chairs up, sweep. They'll bring in bartenders, they'll bring in servers, they'll just bring in like this dude, probably just, one of the guys that just help with general labor stuff. Right. So he's like, I'm there, I'm at a party, I'm working. This guy sees me, comes up to me and says, are you an actor? You need to be an actor. We'll talk. What does that mean? That means that somebody found someone else attractive. This happens in Hollywood all the time. When you go to Hollywood, bro, you can't get a job on one of these, events company things, man, because everyone wants to work there. The writers want to work there. The actors want to work there. The stunt guys want to work there. Why? Because they're hoping to get discovered. And this is one of the ways you get discovered in Hollywood. So this part, I 100% believe. But I know where Mandrell is going with this. I don't believe any word of this when it comes to right at the top of this segment when guy was like, oh, he forced me against the wall and then he touched my butt talks. I don't believe that shit. Come on now. You can beat up Tyler Perry, man. Come on now. Or you can at least defend yourself enough to get out the situation. Why are you even there? Right? Let's continue.
Any of your initial interactions give you pause?
A few of them were did give me pause, but they weren't bad enough to think like this was a dangerous situation in the beginning. Yeah.
According to your lawsuit, at one point early on, he bought you a car.
Yeah, he'd seen my Jeep around the studio that I was driving, and he said, you know, that's not a great car.
Tyler Perry.
Exactly. Pause. Funny choice of words. I didn't know there was a vehicle when. Okay. So y'all see what time it is, bro. This is how it goes down. The dude shows up on a work night, hoping to get discovered, gets discovered, gets put in TV shows like something I ain't never seen, The Oval or whatever. I ain't never seen that. I never will. Just that clip when they showed that little back and forth with the two actors. Like you forget I almost got shot. You forget I actually got shot. That's horrible acting. That's like really horrible acting. I'm not even an actor and I can't act that bad. Like this is what goes on in Hollywood all the time. This is how you have horrible actors getting out here getting money. This is how you have horrible writers out here in the writer's room. This is how you get a terrible script that gets made by some studio because somebody is trying to get the booty cheeks.
Perry is an actor, producer, director, playwright, and prominent name in the entertainment space. He launched his career in the 1990s.
You want this hair? You want this hair?
His 2005 breakthrough film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, debuted at #1 in the box office and was a massive success. To date, he's created 24 feature films, 20 stage plays, 17 television shows, and 2 New York Times best-selling books. In 2021, his prolific career earned him a spot in the exclusive Billionaires Club. His media empire includes his own production company, Tyler Perry Studios, based in Atlanta, one of the largest film studios in the country.
I'm not trying to.
Damn. I guess he said, Hollywood, if y'all ain't gonna let me in, I'm gonna build my own Hollywood. Wow. I'm gonna take a look at that book, bro. But that is Reading Rainbow. That's what we just said. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book, A Reading Rainbow. Dude, hilarious. Tyler Perry built an empire in Atlanta. They wouldn't. The Hollywood studios wouldn't let him in. He said, "Forget y'all. I'm gonna do my own." I mean, we read his Wikipedia. You saw his body of work right there. Wow. And you understand that mainstream America, most mainstream America, have never heard of probably 2 or 3 of his projects. Maybe My Dear. Right. I know he did the Alex Cross thing. I think he played a detective. He did a movie with Janet Jackson in it. They might have heard of that one. But for the most part, he works with the same actors, and all the movies tend to be about the same, but he made himself a billionaire, bro. Shout out to him for that. That's no easy task. That's something that you got to respect.
Do anything other than meet somebody at their humanity.
As his career has flourished, he's also made a name for himself in the philanthropic space. So in early 2020, you land the role of Dale on The Oval. Was that a dream job?
It was, yeah. It was. To be a series regular on a show was something I always dreamed about.
The complaint.
Hold on, player. When you met Tyler Perry, you said you weren't an actor. I guess he was saying, well, I didn't know that I wanted to be an actor yet. I was just trying to figure it out. And why aren't you working on some loading dock somewhere? Why aren't you working, in a factory somewhere? You working where you working to be around these people in the business. Yeah. You see, we always get on women who be working their plays. We get on the women who going after these these very rich guys and getting married, having their kids, and getting the alimony for life in some cases, and getting tons of money and the house, and walking away with tens of millions of dollars. But this dude's trying the same play. That's all I'm hearing right here. Like, this dude is trying the exact same play. And like I said, bro, never hate the players, bro. You can hate the game, but never hate the players.
Screenshots of text messages allegedly between Dixon and Perry.
Picture where he's on the jet ski. Well, I said, nice picture. And he said, yeah, the water looks calm. And he said, nice picture. You don't see that stud in that picture? Rude. And I said, LOL, yes, that's a stud. And all these texts, I tried to de-escalate them and make a joke out of them.
Some of the messages were sexual in nature.
One of them says, what's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that in therapy yet? I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you
Now, the complaint also alleges that in January of 2020, there was an escalation from the text messages to Tyler Perry's behavior becoming physical. Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Yes, we were over at his house. We're having some drinks in his guest.
Why are you at his house, homie? Why are you there? Is this before or after? You got the text messages saying, look at the stud in the picture. When can you let me smash? Right? You going back and forth with this dude. Like, he's obviously saying what he's saying. He bought you a truck. You took the truck. Right? He put you in his TV show. You're taking a role. Like, bro, you got to understand there's strings attached. I get it, with women, bro. Like, women honestly don't see a lot of this stuff coming. They're thinking, oh, we're just friends. You just like me for me and because I'm so smart and blah, 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 blah. Right? But come on, bro. You a dude. And you're asking for $200 million in damages. Why? Because you had to get the truck back or something? Like, bro, no one's gonna believe this. At least I don't think. I mean, if I'm on this trial, like if I'm in the jury and they're showing all this, bro, I'm laughing. I'll probably be held in contempt of court. I'll be like, my bad, judge, my bad. I'll be laughing all the time, man.
House, and it was late at night, and he has a guest quarters, and said that you can sleep there instead of not driving, and his house is far from Atlanta and where I was living. And I got into bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well and started rubbing my leg. And
bro, again, this dude knew exactly what he was doing. He's not some 18-year-old chick fresh off the plane, fresh off the boat, fresh out the trailer park, fresh out the hood. This dude knew what he was doing. You had the text messages, dude saying he's trying to smash. You at his house, he's trying to get you drunk. The fact that you showed up lets you know that you bout it. What are we talking about here? And this puts women in a funny position, right? Because now they're like, oh, we got to believe all men now. Believe all. And this dude never said if he was gay or straight or anything like that. You know what I mean? Casual Germs in the building. What's good, Marine? Hey, bro, this is, I mean, yeah, definitely super duper pause, bro. Like, this is the Hollywood casting couch story, bro, that we've been, trying to cover here for a minute. Here's the guy that went on TV. There's no way. There's absolutely no way I'm going to go on TV and be sitting there across from this attractive reporter lady like, yeah, girl, he grabbed my buttocks, girl. He sent me these messages saying he want to smash. I was trying to de-escalate. Listen to the words he's trying to use. To me, it was like, is this a parody? Like, is this like this? Did he lose a bet? Did someone put him up to this? That's just what I'm thinking, bro. And Casual Germs like, yeah, that's why I can't do jury duty, bro. As soon as the judges hears about my military background, they pull the lawyers aside and they excuse me from doing. Yeah, I'm gonna do that same thing. Yeah, excuse, you're dismissed. You're dismissed, Marine. Let's get you out of here. You're just walking out of there, barking and grumbling like a devil dog. You know me speaking that Marine talk. I mean, bro, if I were you, bro, and because I'm not a Marine, but if I were called to do jury duty, I will go in there day one when they're trying to figure out what jurors they're gonna choose, and I was just do this.
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
They're like, yeah. Juror number 3 is dismissed. Like, thank you for your service, sir. You can go home now. I would just go in there. See, the airborne, we don't have anything like that. So I guess I would just have to go in there and just start singing cadence that you're not allowed to sing anymore. You know what I mean? I'll probably be in there singing that cadence about the women being, here's one. I wish all the women were pies on the shelf and I were the baker. I eat them all myself. Hey, Baba Reba. And then that's, I'll probably just walk in, marching in, singing those songs. I wish all the women were holes in the road and I was the dump truck. I fill them with my load. Like, yeah, juror number 6, you can go. You out of here, airborne. I'm out of here, bro. But anyway, let's keep going.
And I jumped up out of bed, and he has said, turn around so I can look at you, and just commented on how I looked. And then he got up and left. So I thought after that instance, it was pretty clear that I was not interested in that type of a relationship. It was very, very strange. I mean, I think it's okay that people try to make a move or shoot their shot, but if they get rejected, I think that they should stop. And so I thought it would stop after that, and it didn't.
Why would you think that? You are a man, even a gay dude? Gay dudes are the horniest, freakiest, sassiest people you ever want to meet, bro. They keep it 100. They let you know when they come up to you. They tell you, I'm finna touch your junk, bro. You better get ready. You better move because they about to try it. Yeah, this dude right here is just trying to see how much money he can get. Didn't he just say he was in bed with Tyler Perry? Jump out, let me look at your body. Whoa. You're in bed naked with this other man? Come on, bro. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I mean, I don't understand. Like, for real, what are we doing here? Yeah, Brother Michael Lee is definitely a hot dog man. Nothing wrong with that, bro. That's how you get down, man. That's what's up. That's how you get down. But for this dude to act like, I didn't know. I didn't know. I would love to show this to women, like, and just ask them, like, for real, what do you think? It's just like, what do you mean you were in bed with him naked and you got out of bed? What do you mean? This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's definitely the sister code. When there's a woman saying these things, believe all women, they circle the wagons. But when it's a guy saying these things, I mean, look at this lady here. Look at her. Professional journalist. She does this for a living. And she's like, man, this dude's full of shit. Look at her. Look at her. She can't believe it. She's like thoroughly disgusted. Like, this guy, you've got to be kidding me. Right? That's that look. I don't know. If y'all think she looks, what do you think is going through her mind right now?
The second season, Dale gets shot in the chest 4 times. Why was that especially concerning for you?
What it meant to me was if I don't make him happy, I could stay dead on the show.
And the complaint specifically says, and I just want to quote it, Mr. Perry made it clear to Mr. Dixon that he would kill off Mr. Dixon's character if he did not indulge Mr. Perry's sexual harassment. Was that message clear to you?
For me, that was his way of showing his power over us and our careers, and that he doesn't have a problem with just killing one of us off.
You're also a screenwriter and had written a TV series called Losing It. Tell us about that.
He ended up wanting to read it, and I at first was like too embarrassed to even send to him, but he did, and he said he loved it and wanted to shoot the pilot for it.
All right, let's go to June.
All right. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. You ain't gonna give me that booty, so we're gonna shoot and possibly kill off your character, which, again, horrible acting in that clip, guys. Again, I'm no movie critic, no TV show, film critic, but I know good and bad acting when I see it. That was horrible. Did you see the way he fell? Like, bro, do some research. There's plenty of videos out here of people getting popped for real. Like, just go watch and see how they fail. Like, that's what they do in Hollywood, bro. They tell you, they'll make you do that take over and over and over again like it's not real. And if you can't fix it on your own, they'll just fix it in post. They'll fix it in post-production. Like, don't worry about it. They'll have someone else go in dressed like you, do the whole scene again and have a professional fall down, right, and make it look real. And you just cut that in with your bad performance. But here it is. He's like, oh, I'm a screenwriter. And what did he say? He said, Tyler Perry was just showing you that he can kill off your character in your career. You know, I'm just getting started with my career. Like, bro, you working with Tyler Perry, you have no career. If the only movies and TV shows, the only gigs you're getting is with Tyler Perry, that means Hollywood ain't messing with you, bro. That means Hollywood has, you know, like, you can be an extra. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to go to Hollywood, take acting classes, put in the work. You know, there's just so much you got to do. This guy was taking a shortcut. I'm just going to go over here to Tyler Perry and get this money, which is something I wouldn't do. And again, even if it was me, you know, if it's me, it's like, well, you know, I'm just letting you know I brought you into this business, and without me, you ain't gonna be in this business. I could put you out of this business. And fine, put me out of this business, man. Appreciate the truck. I'm out. I'm not doing all that. Coming to your house, getting in bed with you and all that. Come on now, bro. What are you thinking? Like, and this is the same thing we say to women. Here's the thing, because I'm saying it to a dude about a dude, they're not gonna be upset with it. But it's the same game. It's the same play. It's the same play, right? This is red pill 101 right here, bro. See it for what it is. and make up your mind. This is crazy.
Of 2021, another alleged incident that you outline in your lawsuit where you're again at Tyler Perry's home in Atlanta.
Again.
And it ends up with you locking yourself in a bathroom.
We started out having drinks in the living room like we, have done before. And it got to a point in the night where, we were both kind of feeling drunk. And I remember we were walking back to the guest area where I've stayed before. And there was this health monitor scale on the way. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure it, whatever. So you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass. And I, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up. And he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay. Just go with it. And I said, stop. I don't want to be naked. I don't want this. And he was just like, no, I'm not going to hurt you, and just continued. And in that moment, unless someone's been through something where they have their control over their bodies taken away, you don't really understand the kind of feelings that you get in that moment. It was almost like every thought came through my head: to run, to fight, to freeze. I didn't know what to do.
He said,
Bro, this dude is such a bad actor. No one's buying this, homie. No one's buying this. Right? What the hell? What are we talking about here? So you guys are walking, you're fully dressed, you're walking to the guest room, bedroom, guest wing, wherever you're walking. You see a device and you say, what is this? And then old boy says, oh, this is how we weigh stuff. So in order for it to work, you gotta strip down to your underwear. So you do it. You take all your clothes off and you get on this scale or whatever it is. All you're wearing is underwear. Now you're saying, well, he's trying to pull your underwear down and you didn't know what to do. You froze up and you what the hell? No, bro. We don't believe women when they say this stuff, bro. Like, what are you doing? You a grown ass man with muscles, bro. It's time to fight, man. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, bro? This is what Mandrell was telling you. Like, yeah, man. Like I told you, this guy's full of shit. He's trying to get millions. This dude would be happy if he walks away with a few $1,000 and doesn't have to pay legal fees. Keep in mind, a lawyer took on this case, and I bet you the lawyer is one of those lawyers that only gets paid if you get paid. But this doesn't make sense. And again, the woman sitting there interviewing him is completely unconvinced, which is the rest of America. I bet you America was turning this off. Bro, if it weren't for this stream, I'd have already turned this off by now. Like, you must be crazy. I want to watch cartoons. Let's see what Woody Woodpecker is up to. You know what I mean?
as he escalated and distracted Perry and eventually locked himself alone in the guest house bathroom.
The day after that, he called several times and I ended up getting afraid of what was going on the other side. So I picked up, and that's when he said, he was sorry for what happened. He doesn't know why he did that, and that maybe he was self-sabotaging or something. And in the same call, he said, and don't worry, we're going to do your show.
In the lawsuit, you describe this as a calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry. There are also several times where he says to you, you have to make your no stronger. Mm-hmm. How did you respond to this, as it's described, calculated pursuit of you by Tyler Perry?
To me,
old boy said you got to make your no stronger. So I guess what? You got to say no and kabong him with a guitar. I said no, kabong. And you're right, man, Joe. It sounds like a chick. This is what this dude did. He went out and he studied what these other women were doing in these type cases. In his mind, he's like, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to act and be convincing, and I'm going to show the world that this guy is a monster. It's like, bro, but you are a grown man of fighting age. All you had to do was beat him up. What are you talking about, bro? And once you locked yourself in the bathroom and got away with it or whatever, and dude comes back and says, we're going to do your show, you're like, yeah, you're going to do my show and you're going to buy me a Porsche. Get something small out of it, man, because you ain't going to be able to do this major play for a couple of $100 million. Are you insane?
That's just so insulting. And I reiterated, you know, I said stop. You know, I said it. I don't think that people ever get past something like that happening to them.
Dixon tells us he last spoke to Perry in the spring of 2024 and left the show in September of that year. What ultimately became of your pilot losing it?
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. He still owns the rights to it. So I can't now go and sell it.
Then in January, the actor filed a complaint with the EEOC, the federal agency responsible for protecting workers from discrimination. In your response to your EEOC complaint, Tyler's representative said, among other things, Mr. Dixon's initial letter to TPS Tyler Perry Studios about its matter demanded $42.5 million to buy his silence. They described your actions as extortion. Mm-hmm. Were you looking for money to buy your silence?
No, I think I was looking for accountability on to what he did. I think what he did was wrong, and it needed to be something that would deter him from doing this to somebody else, another actor, or in the future.
What kind of a toll would you say that this has all taken on you?
I was extremely anxious. The calls got to a point where the calls and texts were almost every day. Just this constant state of like, if I don't answer, I will lose my job. I'll be fired or killed off the show. I mean, it took a huge toll on my anxiety and depression.
You're asking.
There's no way in hell that I would be on TV talking to the world about this, bro. There's no way in hell. Let's finish this.
In your lawsuit for damages totaling $260 million. How did you arrive at that number?
Part of that number is my lost job, my lost income, the loss of the show.
Really?
The other part of that is a deterrent for, how do you stop a billionaire who won't stop themselves from doing this?
How difficult has it been to tell your truth?
It's been hard. It's been hard. It's a vulnerable thing to talk about. I think for anybody, there's a lot of shame, I think, around it. And just trying to think what you could have done better and having to deal with the judgment of what, everyone might think of how you could have handled it better without being in that situation.
Perry has not.
Dude couldn't even make himself cry, bro. Like I said, he's a shitty actor. So $205 million, and well, because I lost some money as part of lost compensation for my lost wages. Bro, it was one TV show. Like you've never worked in the field before. You'll never work in the field again. Why? Because you're a terrible actor, right? And then you came out and you did this. It is what it is. And you're like, well, if we start with this big number, maybe we'll settle somewhere around $2 million. Like, bro, I wouldn't give dude $5,000. Let's listen to this last part.
Yet responded in court filings. In a statement to ABC News, his lawyer called Dixon a, quote, individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, and that Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. If you were to talk to Tyler Perry right now, what would you say?
I would say, I hope that you take accountability for what happened, and I hope that this has taught you not to treat your employees this way and to never use someone's dream to coerce them into a relationship that's not professional.
What would justice look like for you?
Justice would look like thinking that I've made a change and that something like this won't happen to another actor that works for him or another actor in the industry. That would be justice for me.
Our thanks to Derek Dixon for the conversation.
Whatever, bro. Like, that was... All right. So, a little taste of the casting couch, right? That's what that is, guys. A little taste of the casting couch. This sort of thing does happen, right? This all the time. all the time. We got another video I want you guys to watch. It won't be as painful to watch, to get through. Obviously, that guy right there was trying to run a play, obviously. And he's very bad at it. You know, yeah, Tyler Perry, I believe that Tyler Perry made a pass at him. I believe Tyler Perry put him on the show. I believe everything he said is just the dude wanted to be around this guy. How you find yourself at Tyler Perry's house? How do you find yourself on a scale wearing nothing but your underwear? Right? You know, you got these text messages. Again, someone like Tyler Perry, like, why are you sending these messages, bro? Like, these guys were involved in doing something. I believe that this dude and this dude's attorney basically thought, we'll put this case out here, and then a lot of people will come running to be a part of the case. Like, you know, hey, I was involved in that too. Tyler Perry did that to me too, and he did that to my friend. And that's what this attorney was probably hoping for. I don't know if that happened, but that's what I think that was the play was. Well, we'll put this out here, and then we'll get a bunch of people to join on to this case, make Tyler Perry look bad. You know, then they'll want to settle, and everyone will get some bread. But this next video, you know, this is a very famous actor, bro. And this was on the Art of Dialogue. This brother, you've seen this brother before. What is his name again? I forget his name. Damn. Clifton something, I believe. But you guys know him from, I mean, bro, he's in everything. He always plays the gangster, right? This dude right here. Real cool cat. He was on the Art of Dialogue, and you know, THPP Network put together something that talks about this very thing. So what happened with this guy, Tyler Perry, Clifton Powell, thank you, brother, Clifton Powell. So what happened with Tyler Perry, with this dude, that's not a one-off in the industry, right? Tyler Perry's not even in Hollywood. He's outside of Hollywood and ain't found his success, but this does go on. You know, I don't know if you guys were familiar with the Harvey Weinstein thing, but you know, allegedly what Harvey Weinstein would do, had this actress walk into his room, he'll throw down 3 scripts. Those are the next 3 scripts. Those are the next 3 blockbusters for this upcoming year. Pick whichever one you want to be in. You'll be in it, but you're going to have to bust it wide open right here, right now. That's the deal that Harvey Weinstein made, allegedly, to all these, you know, Hollywood starlets. And a lot of women took him up on that deal. And he came through on his end of the deal. The women, it seemed to me, that came forward were the women who really couldn't act, or really had no ability, and they got that one role, and that was it. They couldn't get cast for anything else. Why? Because they weren't really good at it. But it wasn't his fault. You made a deal with the devil came through. Don't be mad because you couldn't do the follow-up. And I believe that's why so many women came after Harvey Weinstein. But there are men that are made these offers as well all the time in Hollywood. It happens all the time. And this THPP Network video is really good at exposing that and showing that, bro. Clifton Powell, I met this dude my first month in LA. I was on La Cienega, and I guess it's the Beverly Hills part, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills adjacent. And back then, this was like the late 90s, like 98, 99. There was a soul food restaurant on La Cienega, like right next to Koi, like a couple doors down from Koi. And everyone was telling me, you got to go to this restaurant. Well, when I went there that night, it was like the last weekend this place was going to be open. It was no longer the hot spot, especially for Black Hollywood. This used to be like, it was like a soul food, high-end hot spot joint. So I went in there, and old boy was sitting at the bar, Clifton Powell. And I looked over, I recognized him right away. So I go to the bar, there's hardly anyone in there. I looked at the menu, didn't really see anything I wanted, you know, and it was cool because in Hollywood, in West Hollywood especially, when Black people see each other, especially Black men, it's always like, hey, what's good, brother? What's up? And as soon as I walked up, old boy was, hey, what's good, brother? I'm like, hey, what's happening? What's good? So I'm at the bar, whatever. And we just start chopping it up. I told him, like, hey, man, you know, I'm definitely a fan of your work, bro. You know, keep it up. You do good work. And he was like, oh, I appreciate that, brother. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, I just moved to LA, just trying to get my feet under me, bro. Like, where are the good spots at? And bro, like, he sat down there, broke it down to him. He's like, you want to go to this place, this place, this place, this place. If you want a good lounge, just a cool scene, you want to go to this place, this place, this place. He must have named 2 or 3 restaurants and like a handful of clubs. And I'm like, well, I was told this was the spot. He's like, it was a year ago. But, you know, pretty much everyone's moved on. You can see by the way it looks now, it's not really the spot anymore. And he's like, I believe they're closing. I was like, oh, you know, that's what's up, man. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? And it was just a really good encounter. Cool ass brother, man. Cool ass brother. So it's one of those things that I've had these type of encounters in Hollywood. I don't know, so more times than I can count with all sorts of folks. You know what I mean? Just people you will recognize from bit parts in movies all the way up to A-listers, right? Legit Hollywood A-listers. Like Sam Jackson. I went to this event. Sam Jackson was there, man. Real cool brother. I bumped into Denzel a couple times. You know, had a real long conversation and had a really good time kicking it with George Clooney one night. Just, dude, always, so many stories of just bumping into folks. And it just solid stories. And I had some stories you bumping into people who are kind of assholes. And those tend to be the guys who are lower. Like the A-listers, the A-B-listers are really cool. When you get like the C-listers and down and like the TV's personalities, they all tend to be trying a little bit too hard. I met David Allen Greer once, bro. It was like, it was a shitty encounter, like for real. Like I was one of those, like I was about to, like, bro, it's about to get ugly in here. And, you know, I got up out the situation. Not that he was trying to touch me or nothing like that. He was just talking shit, bro. It's just like, it was just didn't make any sense. And I actually was telling the story to Faison Love, believe it or not, in one of the barbershops, bro. This must have been months after that incident happened, right? I'm in the barbershop on Lancashire in North Hollywood area. And Faison walked into the barbershop, man. Faison's a real cool dude, bro, by the way. Real cool dude. And we're sitting there and I told the story to Faison. And Faison looked at me and he was like, huh. He was like, I wonder why he was playing hard to get. And I looked at Faison, everybody in the barbershop started cracking up laughing because everybody in Hollywood know. Right? So everybody, you know, and I'm looking like, what you talking about, bro? Like, he was just playing hard to get, homie. You know what I'm saying? He probably thought you was cute, homie. Now, I was like, what? Like, bro, for reals like that? He's like, come on, man, you in Hollywood. Mind y'all, I just got to Hollywood. I'm just like getting my feet under me. I just got my car. I was kind of branching out, you know what I mean? So I just started laughing, bro. And you know, we chopped it up for a couple hours in the barbershop, man. Faison and everybody in the barbershop, bro. So it's just stories like that, bro. And Brother Pitney, you're right about the Weinstein thing. Not attractive. It's easier to steamroll a guy like that. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein just looks the part. He looks like the creep, the weirdo, the beast. But let's check out this video, bro. This video really breaks down what it's like for a lot of men in Hollywood. And I'm tell you, when I watched this, I'm like, yeah, bro, I watched a third of this before I stopped it. And yeah, bro, they ain't lying. This stuff goes on in Hollywood, and it's up to the dude to determine how he gonna deal with it. Let's check it out.
A guy came to me maybe about 3 years ago. He said, Mr. Powell, you know, I love your work. He said, I'm gonna tell you right now, you'd be a lot bigger if you were bisexual. And I said, well, I've gotten as big as I have.
I'm just telling you how Hollywood go. I've been saying it for years. Y'all ain't never gotta listen to me. But I'm saying, if you really want some real action out here, I was talking to Eddie Griffin. It felt good to hear it because I know he wasn't lying.
What is it?
Eddie Griffin, right when he was getting hot, getting movies, a powerful Hollywood executive, I ain't gonna say his name.
Let me send you this picture.
Eddie gonna be, and he opened his legs and had his thing out.
Wow.
Eddie Griffin said, that's when I knew it was time for me to leave Hollywood.
Wow.
Bro, going back to that story with Faison. Faison said that he received a script, and I forget what movie it was, but the movie he was talking about was a hit movie at that time. And Faison said, yeah, man, they were looking at me for that movie. They gave me the script to that movie. And they said the executive producer of that movie wanted to have a meeting. I believe it was Faison that said this. I think it was Faison. He's like, they wanted to have a meeting. And then Faison was like, all right, cool. You know, his agent was it was going crazy. Like, this is it. We're going to get you on this movie. Faison was like, cool, I'll take the meeting. So he gets the address and he's like, hold on. This isn't like this, you know, like this isn't a business address. Like you know, people got offices all over SoCal, like, you know, especially in Hollywood, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Century City, Studio City, North Hollywood. Like people have offices everywhere, Sherman Oaks, you know, Malibu. So it's like, you would think if someone wants to have a meeting that you're going to meet in their offices on Santa Monica Boulevard, you know what I mean? On La Cienega, on Beverly, you know what I mean? Like, okay, where? Like on 3rd, like where we meeting? You know what I mean? Like on Lankershim, you know what I mean? Like it's Sepulveda, like on Sepulveda somewhere in Sherman Oaks, like Ventura. Nah, you got like dudes like this. This is an address to a house in the hills. This is not Hollywood Hills. This is beyond Hollywood Boulevard, up in the hills. And the agents were like, well, yeah, it is. You know, that's where he's staying. He just wants you to stop by real quick, and then he's gonna have a couple words about this part. Faison was like, all right, damn, was it Faison? I think it was Faison. And if it wasn't Faison, brother, you're watching this, my bad. But I think this was you telling me the story. It could have been somebody else. So Faison was already shields up, guarded, like, all right, we're going to see what's happening. So he pulls up, gets to the address, knocks on the door. The dude, the executive producer, shows up to the door. He's got on a robe, a thin robe, and nothing else. And the robe is like open. You feel me? The robe is open a little bit. So he opens the door, and there's the guy standing there, and he's like, Faison, I'm so glad you came by. We love to have you. You know what I mean? And just, you know, basically saying, come on in and we can discuss what needs to happen for this. No, we can discuss what needs to happen. Something like that. Words to that effect. So everybody in the barbershop, like, what you do, big worm? Right? Like, what you do, player? You're like, shit, I didn't go in there. You're like, I'm not doing that. It ain't worth it. You already see what time it is. I'm not trying to go in there and have to beat this guy up or whatever. Like, then I'll never work in Hollywood again. It's like, I'm not interested. Hey, thank you, you know what I mean, for the offer, man, but, you know, I got to go. So that's how the story went. Pretty sure that was Faison that told me that story, right? And this is what I mean about men in Hollywood. If a woman had a story like that, she just goes to the nearest reporter and boom, that's a big story. Where's a guy going to go? Could someone like Faison or, you know what I mean, some other actor who was on coming up like Eddie Griffin or whatever, could they go and tell this story and something was going to happen? Nah. And they would probably get blackballed by Hollywood for telling. So you have to handle that a certain way. Like, bro, if you put hands on the dude, he going to tell everybody in Hollywood, you a violent guy, don't work with you, blah, 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 blah. And they all know what time it is. Like, all right, stay away from me. Now you ain't working no more. Your career's over. So, but, you know, you say no, like you say it in a respectful way, you get up out of there, it's all good. He understands, like, okay, dude ain't on that. He's not going to get on my casting couch. But how many guys say, yeah, you had the guy that was just on, we just looked at on the other video, talking to ABC or whatever, trying to say, hey, this is what's going on. That's the casting couch stuff. Right? That's the casting couch stuff, bro. And it happens all the time. Terry Crews, this is Terry Crews talking about his story. Terry Crews should have grabbed that dude by his neck, bro, but he didn't. But hey, if he had listened to me, Terry Crews would just been a retired football player living on whatever pension he had from the NFL. But now Terry Crews is, you know, worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
2016, while at a party with my wife, I was assaulted by a successful Hollywood agent. The assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power.
And that was for a movie?
That was the man. Ask him how big a star you want to be. Let me tell you something, man. It's some people out here who can turn you into the face of black people.
Yep.
But do that shock you?
See, back then.
Hell yeah, that shocked me when you hear Will Smith and them getting 20 million a film and like that. Like, come on.
But not their first ones. Not their first. See, that's what I'm saying.
Will
see?
Smith, them, man, they look like
And
them
he
baby
opened the
birds
floodgates.
when it's getting fed.
Oh, God. And that floodgates. Remember, not a lot of no.
I'm gonna have to explain to Elizabeth about the money and calm her. She gets so nervous. Hey, Paul, come on, stop that.
I was wondering if I could you.
Man, I don't do things like that.
Bro, are you going to take that role? That role right there? That role made Will Smith a household name. That role is what led to Independence Day, was led to the Wild Wild West, what led to all those other movies that came after. This was after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and before he became an A-lister, bro. What had to happen in order for him to get that role? Like, bro, he had to make a decision. He had to make a decision. Just like so many actors before him had to make a decision. J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, she had to make a decision. Right now, she probably went in thinking, I'm gonna do this. How else do you go from a dancer on a weekly sitcom to being an A-list celebrity in Hollywood, bro? Come on now. Come on now. There's a lot of names out there that it's like, how did you get here? Who did you service? Right? It is what it is. This is grown-up business. And I'm the kind of guy that's like, nah, no thank you. I have had so many offers to do, like, hey, I got a part for you in this film, from people I don't know. Who's just hanging out, talking or whatever. I got a part for him. Like, why would you give me a part? Nah, bro, I'm good. Aren't you an actor? Like, nah, I'm an air traffic controller, bro. I'm here with so-and-so. I'm here with them. I'm just kicking it, bro. I'm not a part of that world. Oh, okay. I thought you thought you was dangling something in front of me, man. Like, please, nah, nope. And it's not just dudes, it's women too. You got older women out here, like the cougar types or whatever. They'll use that too, bro. They will do it. Now, depending on what she looked like, that's an easier move. Like, I can do that. All right, whatever. You can keep the movie. You know what I mean? They just going upstairs. You can keep the movie. I don't care about that. But you come on, you know what I mean? You had all these upgrades. Let's go have a look at your work. But again, you got to make a decision.
I made it to the middle. The top is another whole set of stuff that you got to deal with on every level that I'm not willing to do. So, and they don't let strong Kunta Kinte like me get to the top. It just doesn't happen without some compromise. And I'm not willing to do that, but I never knew that.
You can say what you want. I don't believe Eddie Griffin out there getting down like them people getting down, because them people getting down, they doing all kinds of wonderful things.
Why do you think Dave Chappelle left the Chappelle Show?
Nobody would know better than Dave, so I'd break it down this simple, because I had those feelings when I was on the Malcolm and Eddie show. When they're asking you to do that doesn't agree with your nature, is the money worth that indignity? I think the brother made the proper decision.
I know when I interviewed Fredro Story, he told me that he turned down the role in The Wire because they wanted him to kiss him in.
I got a audition maybe a year ago for Mr. Black. I don't think he read the script. So I read the script and I called him. I said, this guy that's the gangster, he has this guy named Raphael or somebody hanging around the bar all the time. I said, who is that guy? So he called casting and he said, well, they kind of like lovers. I'm like, that's not gonna work out. I'm not homophobic. I've gotten a lot of flack for saying something in the heat of the moment. I'm not homophobic, but I have no problems with transgender people or gay people. I don't care what color they are. I have no problems with, I'm not sexist or racist or any of that. But I have boundaries for me as a person. But I've been set up, I've been approached, I've been, I don't want to say persuaded, but gestures have been made, and I'm not gonna get into the details and name any names, but it's been men and women, not a lot, but a few.
At this point, it's laughable that folks still doubt that Hollywood not only has a casting couch for the ladies, but oh yes, a casting couch for the men. And a lot of these fellas that are superstars, they had to do something a little flexible, a little greasy, to grease the wheels to make sure that they could keep that cash register ringing and them dollars and those roles coming in. You see Mr. Powell here, he is an established actor. He's been in many roles. Didn't turn down a lot, but didn't get a lot. And as he described it, he made it comfortably to the middle because he can only go so far without going so far. So the question you got to ask yourself is that for these mega superstars, how far were they willing to go? What were they willing to do? What were they willing to sacrifice? Who were they willing to accommodate in order to get to where they got? Damn.
Bro, that is real talk. The people I know that have come to Hollywood, they tried to, play that game. A lot of people who went home, they went home because of that. They're like, bro, it ain't worth it. It's not worth me compromising who I am. And you don't even have to ask for details. You already know what time it is. It'll be a dude. It'll be a dude from Tennessee or a dude from Texas. It might be a dude from Louisiana, a dude from, Georgia, Mississippi, West Virginia. New York, New Jersey, like real dudes. And they're out there trying to do their thing. And they're like, nah. At some point, it's not about talent. It's not about work ethic, right? At some point, it boils down to someone want to use you as a thing. Someone wants to indulge. And that's the barrier. That might be the barrier to you getting to that 10, 15, $20 million a movie role. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody goes through it, because everyone doesn't. But a lot of people do. And you might just get lucky. You might just work with legit people and not have to deal with that. You might see the people on the fringes, and if you know how to maneuver and move at a Hollywood party, to get there early and leave early. Get there and leave before the degenerates get too drunk. They ain't gonna come right off the rip as soon as you walk in doing the stuff that they did to Terry Crews. And that takes a while for them to get loose and get that liquid courage in them before they gonna go out there and make a move like that. So you get there early and you leave early. So you'll just be hearing the stories of, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. I saw so-and-so and so-and-so go up into the room or whatever. And guess what? In the Hollywood Reporter, it was announced like a week later that person got that role. That person got that directing job, right? And this is what they're doing. And like I said, the guys who came out there, tried it, had a little bit of success, like, nah, this is it. I'm gone. They go back home. They're like, I'm done. Go get real work. Like, I'm not doing this. A lot of that is behind them refusing to compromise themselves, bro. I mean, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. Bro, Michael Lee, that's how they get down out there.
Get it without kissing the ring, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Y'all ain't gotta believe me, but I'm telling you, all you motherfuckers out here who just got off a Greyhound bus trying to be a star, you can go directly to the man and make it a lot sooner if you gon' crack that ass open. That way you can be in the community with them mother. They'll be like, oh, he's an ass opener. He's okay. Let him in.
For real.
Did you have fun last night? You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. All you motherfuckers who really think that you finna get stardom as a square, as a average Joe, even if you got talent has nothing to do with making it in the big time. Watch television and you'll see I confirm that.
So the bottom line is this.
And, Denzel took the long and hard route. George Clooney took the long and hard route. I think George Clooney holds the records for the most pilot episodes in Hollywood without becoming famous. I forget how many it was. Like, he has a ridiculous amount of pilots that he went through, pilot after pilot after pilot. None of them ever caught until finally, I think it was ER. And then he went from there. But if somebody gets out to Hollywood, bro, and within a year and a half, 2 years, in less than 5 years, they're all the way, they up there like D-list, C-list, B-list celebrity, bro, they doing something, because that's not how it goes. It takes so much time to hone that craft. That's not how it goes. If you see that, people know, like, oh, they get invited to all the parties. They get to stay at all the parties, right? They're flying around, to New York. They're flying up to Canada. They're flying down to Miami, bro. They're flying over to London. It's like, bro, you just got into the business. You're doing all this flying. And it's the same thing. Like, the women be going through the same thing. Like, bro, what? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, y'all seen Andre? Like, yeah, he in Montreal. Montreal? What the hell he doing in Montreal? Yeah, that dude, Pierre took him. Yeah, they flew up, they flew out of Burbank, a private jet to Montreal. Like, yeah. 3 weeks later, they up in Aspen. Aspen, ain't nobody shooting no money in Aspen. Ain't shooting no movie in Aspen. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's where he's at with Pierre. It is what it is. Don't hate the players, man. Hate the game. And, all money ain't good money. If you decide to do that, that's on you.
Your talent's only going to take you so far. It's not exactly what you know, it's who you know. And the devil in the blue dress, she's sitting right there, standing side by side, straddling that demon. And that demon's going to look you dead in the face and tell you one thing.
Trust me.
When you're about to sign on that dotted line, your soul entwined. But don't trust them. Don't trust anything that he says, because one thing is for sure, whether you want to believe it or not, your soul in the form of your dignity can be bottled and sold. And a lot of folks have done this for silver and gold. You dig?
And they've done it for a lot less, bro.
Everything went wrong. It's like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. Pre-Big Mamas, to me, actually, it's like you have an AD, it's like AD, BC. Okay. It's like BM for me. My career pre-BM.
So Big Mama was a changing point.
Yeah.
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 What made it a changing point? Was it that it was Martin, or just everything was aligning up at the right time for you?
It was a negative changing point, to be honest.
What you mean by the producers chemistry sideways?
I've had producers say certain things or do certain things, male and female. But I know how to handle it because I know what I'm gonna do. I always tell people when you get to Hollywood, know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not desperate to be famous.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
You don't make up for your sins in the church. You do it in the streets. You do it at home. The rest is bullshit, and you know it.
Ladies and gentlemen of polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey.
And we'll leave it there. Like, this video is linked in the description below. Please go check it out. Watch the rest of it. Like it, and subscribe over there at THPP if you haven't done that. They run some good videos over there. But you heard what Clifton said. Like, man, you got to know what you're going to do. Right? You got to be honest with yourself, bro. Like, all money ain't good money. It is what it is. These people are very clear. It's not vague when they tell you these things. I've had women tell me, like, yo, bro, this is how they tell you what it is. This is what it is. You can say yes or no. You say no and walk out that door, you know what time it is. Like, all right, them cars going to dry up. Them roles are going to dry up. You can say yeah. And you're going to continue to get more roles and continue to move up the ladder. So, man, that's a tough choice for some people because they're chasing their dreams. Their dream to be in Hollywood is their dream to be on set. It's their dream to work their way up to where they have their own trailer, right? If you've never been to a Hollywood set, bro, I'm here to tell you, man, that's crazy. That's crazy what they do, how they transform things. Man, it's amazing. You sit on the Hollywood set and just like, man, you can just walk around and explore all day on the studios. Like, man, it's crazy. But, what are you willing to sell for that? Like, that wasn't my dream. Like I said, I've 2 or 3 times people want to holler at me. And it's not like these guys were trying to make me one of these offers. They're just like, oh, man, you cool. I got this movie, man. You want to be in it? I got this video. You want to be in it? And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Are you sure? Like, I'm sure. Like, a lot of people like, man, you fit this role. Like, I really have this role, like this character. I think you fit. Like, it's not a whole lot of lines. Like, would you, like, nah, man, I'm not in the business. Right? And a lot of times people are like, well, you couldn't do it anyway because you weren't SAG. Man, they'll make you SAG on the spot. That happens all the time. They can make you SAG if they want to, because in order to get your SAG vouchers stuff, they had these vouchers. You had to do all this stuff, like these extra roles and maybe small roles here and there. And you would get a voucher for this, voucher for that. You had to get like 3. Once you got 3 vouchers, then you can, apply to get into the union and pay your dues and all that. And man, when I was out there in the late 90s, boy, that's all they talked about with them SAG vouchers, bro, SAG vouchers. But I saw guys that came out there. There was a dude who was a paramedic. He was a trained paramedic. And he was out there and he was on a set. They were shooting on location. He was on a set. And the director saw him. And they're like, we want that guy. Get that guy over to makeup and the costume. Get him the wardrobe. And they asked the guy, like, hey, the director wants to put you in this scene with this movie. Would you be willing to do it? And the guy's like, I'm a paramedic. I'm just here to be, to fulfill this requirement, whatever. Right? We understand that. Bro, they wrote him a decent contract. He became SAG. They offered him SAG right there on the spot. According to him, this is the story he told me. This is a dude, we lived in the same apartment complexes when I was living in Warner Center. And he was like, yeah, man, I was on set and the director said I had this look that he really wanted for this scene. I think it was a war scene or something like that. Man, they got him all in wardrobe, went out there, did his thing. And he was like, bro, I've been working ever since. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I just did a movie with, I forget the name of the star. He was like, I just did this movie over here. Gonna do this movie over there. I got an agent now. I got a manager. Like, damn, bro, for real? He's like, yeah. Like, I never thought about being an actor before. It just kind of worked out that way for him. And then at the same time, I got people who moved to LA, bro, living in their car, You know, like 3 or 4 of them living in a studio somewhere, apartment, working these horrible jobs, and they can't get in because they're not SAG qualified. They're trying to get these vouchers. One of my friends told me, she's like, yeah, I had dudes tell me like, yo, if I bust it open for them right here, they'll give me a voucher. I'm like, what? They just say it like that? She was like, yeah. I'm like, well, won't you say something? She's like, if I say something, they're going to find out. Everyone's going to find out, and I'm going to be kicked out. She was, I was like, did you bust it wide open? She was like, no. If I busted it wide open, I wouldn't be here right now. I was like, I just thought I'd ask. She wound up leaving. She gave up. She made some independent films, did some like a lot of background work. She did a lot of extra work. And she did, I think, a couple commercials. She was a good actress. She worked on her craft. She did her thing. She moved out there from Ohio. She was a good actress, kept herself in shape, all that. And then she just got tired of the rat race, bro. She gave up. But that guy, did she even get her? Eventually she did get all of her vouchers. And she was like, it was the second voucher. The guy said, like, I will give you a voucher basically if you'll sleep with me. And she didn't do it. And I was like, well, why didn't you? I'm like, you let me smash. I ain't in the business. She's like, because I like you. I'm like, what difference does it make? You could have got your voucher. She was like, no. You know, he was ugly. He was a creep. He was a weirdo. I'm like, all right, just whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Sister Jody's in the building. What's good, sis? We just talking about Hollywood, talking about them vouchers. I don't know if they still have that voucher system or not. Back then, you had SAG and Astra. I think you said they were split. It was 2 separate. You know, everybody wanted the SAG vouchers or whatever. But you know, that casting couch thing, bro. I'm telling you, it was real. This is how dudes were getting in. They were getting it in. Women were getting it in too. You know, gay people, lesbian. That's another thing. Like, yes, I was like, so is it always men coming after you? It's like, nah, it'd be women too. Like women, it's like the women were real aggressive. This is what they were telling me. Like, yo, the women were so aggressive. At least the guys would tell you up front, this is what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. They'll make you the offer. But she's like, the women just be coming up, touching on you, grabbing your breasts, talking about, oh, you have beautiful breasts. I wish I had boobs like this. Grabbing your butt just before BBLs. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, man, trying to get you in the hot tubs, inviting you over to drink with them. They be trying to get it in. I was like, damn. And my friend was like, shit, at least the dudes were offering vouchers. Like, these chicks weren't offering nothing. I was like, that's crazy. That's how the game is played. At least that's how the game was played out there when I was in Hollywood. I was an air traffic controller. You know, I was a comedian and I was a promoter. So I knew a lot of people in the business and they would tell me this stuff, man. But for every weird story, man, I had like 4 or 5 really good, solid stories of people like, yeah, I just came in, you know what I mean? I did my time. I paid my dues. I got my shot and then I made the most of it. So you still have people out there who make it without doing that stuff. But there's so many weirdos out there and people are always looking, you know what I mean? There are people always looking for shortcuts. And it's like, hey, there are men and women out there. It's like, look, all I got to do is smash this person and I can get a shortcut. You know, I can cut some time off and they'll take it. You know, there's a lot of dudes out there like, yeah, I'll smash some 60-year-old woman, you know, with a bunch of body enhancements. If that's going to get me that voucher or if that's going to get me in some movie, a guy would do that. Right. But he's not going to jump on the couch with another man. So he might draw the line there. Same thing with the woman. The woman be like, I'm not going to get on the couch with some, you know, creepy looking Howard Weinstein, whatever, Harvey Weinstein looking dude, whatever. But if the guy's hot, looks like Brad Pitt, I'll jump on his casting couch, right? So I've seen it and heard it all. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of weirdos out there. And look, she's like, yep, people will do it. It is a thing. A lot of people look at sex like, whatever, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. At least they're going towards a goal. So that video we saw in the beginning with that guy going on CBS talking about Tyler Perry and, you know, the dude was telling I was frightened. I didn't know what to do. He pulled my underwear down. I'm like, hold on, bro. How did you get to where you were just wearing underwear? Like you took your clothes off. You took your clothes off. And you're standing there in your underwear. And, you know, this guy's already sent you text messages saying he want to smash. You're in his house. Y'all drinking. Come on now. But I was afraid. I didn't know what to do. I ran into the bathroom and I locked myself in. And I want $200 million. Like, what? Stop it. But yeah, that's what it is, guys. And if y'all want to hear any more stories about Hollywood, let me know. But this casting couch thing, bro, it is savage. Check out the rest of that video. It's in the description below. It'll definitely you know, you can hear these stories from these guys who have to deal with it. And, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I'll leave you guys with this. I was at my buddy's nightclub. You know what I mean? Jim LaBrie. Shout out to Jimmy, man. That guy right there is a real one. Don DeMarco to Jimmy. And his brother Brandon. So I was in this club. He told me to pull up. I pulled up, and it was gay night. It was gay night. Like, yo. I was kind of like, damn. And bro, them dudes were so aggressive. And here's the thing. I couldn't be mad because I'm there. Once I figured out it was gay night, I had to leave. It was so aggressive. And Jimmy was like, yo, we wanted to talk business. Jimmy wasn't gay. It's just gay night was a big night for his club. We were doing comedy there. We had to sign some paperwork or something. So I had to get it done that day. Boy, them dudes were so aggressive. I jumped behind the bar. I was behind the bar with the bartenders, and they couldn't get back there to me. It was hilarious. And that was the day I realized like it was wrong to kind of reach out and grab women. Because that's how we came up. Like, you see a woman, you think she's fine, just grab her, pull her over. Like, what's up, girl? Hey, you know what I mean? That's how we used to do it back in Cincinnati. That's how we do it when I was in the military. Just grab them. And them dudes were just grabbing me. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you can't start swinging because you in there. So I just got behind the bar, and that was the last time that I never grabbed a woman again after that. I never was like, hey, shorty, I never would grab her. I would walk up to her, say whatever. And I'm like, damn, this is what women go through? And it was funny because one of the waitresses in there was laughing so hard. And she was like, yeah, now you know. I'm like, this is what y'all go through? She was like, yep, now you know. That was 2000. I think that was 2000 when that happened. Was that early? Nah, it wasn't maybe it was 2004, 2005-ish. Maybe it was in there. But I looked at her and she was just laughing so hard. And she's like, now you know. I'm like, that's what y'all go through? She's like, yes, that's what we go through. I'm like, damn, shawty. You know what I mean? Damn. And yeah, Joe was gone, girl. That's it. That's the season. I was going to go down to Miami to watch them play the Dolphins, which they play them the 21st. Joe Burrow is scheduled to return on the 15th. So, but there's no way that we're going to go like 8-5 while he's gone and be in the hunt at the end of the season to get into the playoffs. I mean, I hope it happens, but it's just not going to happen. Maybe they'll trade to get a quarterback in there, but who's available? You know, there's people already saying like, get Shador. But you want a veteran. You know what I mean? Don't bring a rookie down there. You want a vet. So we'll see. But you're right though, sis. This I think is over. I think it's over for this season. He's missed 3 out of 6 seasons, and it's not his fault. That was a terrible injury. It is what it is. Brother Penny's like, so sidecars are extremely valuable in Hollywood. Those vouchers is what you needed to be a part of the union. I don't know how they do it now. Yeah, we are old, sis. I don't know how they do it now, but the SAG thing back in the day, you're going to production. It was a SAG production. You weren't SAG, but you worked on that set. You know, maybe you were doing background work. You were doing, you were an extra. Maybe you had, maybe you were an extra. You know, to get screen time, but no dialogue. You had no lines. But those were long days too. They really treated the extras like, bro, third-class citizens, bro. They couldn't go get the food from catering. They had to sit in a certain area. You know, they couldn't complain. If you went and complained about something, they would just ask you to leave. You just had to sit there and suffer in silence. But they would stick it out, and then you would make it through that production, and they would give you a voucher, and you had to get 3 vouchers. So you just had to just stay out there. It was crazy. You know what I mean? It definitely disappointing for the fans, bro. I'm not back to Joe Burrow. I'm not going to go down to Miami to watch that game. We'll probably go to Miami anyway, but that game, bro, they'll probably be giving tickets away because I don't see the Dolphins doing anything this season. There's like a transition season for them. They're going to figure out what they're going to do with Tua and all that kind of stuff. So that might be one of those games that my cousin was like, bro, they'll be putting tickets on windshields, bro. They probably pay you $20 to come to the game. So it is what it is. Brother Michael Lee, like saying, do you remember Akili Smith from Cincinnati back in 19? Yeah, I remember Akili Smith. What a bust that was, bro. And that was Ooh, those were rough times back then. I remember Akili Smith, bro. So yeah, I appreciate that, guys. I'm done. We were, just talking about the casting couch, man. Like it's gender fluid. It's men, women, and everything in between. And if, I'm pretty sure Hollywood still operates on that, you know what I mean? And the only place that it was even worse, like Hollywood was bad the way that they were doing that stuff. But the only place where it was worse in entertainment was the music business, especially the rap world. That was the absolute worst what they were doing. You guys saw the trial. You guys saw what Sean Combs was doing. He wasn't the only one, bro. The rap game, especially in the 80s until now, I'm still shocked. Like, how did Me Too miss the music business, the rap business, the rock and roll game, the heavy metal stuff, man, like the grunge, bro. The groupies for the band, like going down to the Roxy, man, and going down there, bro, Viper Room, the groupies. Oh my goodness. Insane. And I mean, there were women out there, bro, they were just part of the deal. You got your, these bands be coming in playing this part of the deal, bro. Which one you want? Go ahead and take 3 of them. They had spaces all up in the place where you can go in there and do it. Man, the rock and roll kids was telling me what was going on. I was just like, damn. You know what I mean? So I don't know how Me Too missed the music industry, but somehow they did. But yeah, we're done. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. This was fun. I mean, it is what it is. That's the game. That's how the game is played. Like I say, you can, don't hate the players, bro. You can hate the game if you want to. It is what it is. But you gotta, like Clifton said, man, you gotta know what you want. You gotta know your limits and set your boundaries and don't cross them, bro. That's all that is. Tomorrow we're gonna be back on the Charlie Kirk case and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna try to get 2 shows in tomorrow as well. I definitely want to talk about the economy. There's a lot going on that we're not talking about. We're not talking about the Epstein files. We're not talking about what's going on in Ukraine. We're not talking about what's going on in Venezuela. We're not talking about the U.S. economy. We're not talking about Bitcoin being tied to gold and all that kind of stuff. And that's just scratching the surface. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to definitely get in 2 episodes tomorrow. We're gonna jump in and talk about that stuff as well. We're not talking about all these corporations that are closing up, these companies that are closing up all over America, bro. The Hyundai thing in Georgia, that was crazy. So we're going to be talking about one of those. We're going to be talking about one or a few of those because Americans are hurting, bro, hurting. And Bernie Sanders went down to West Virginia, which is like deep red Trump land. And Bernie Sanders has the people of West Virginia, like, they're like anti-oligarch. They're like against the 1%. They're ready to fight. We'll talk about that as well. So I'm out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed rocking out with y'all, man. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.